Let's go! This ain't the Rock Night! Oh, this game, he stinks!
Oh, shit!
It's gone!
Good evening, everyone. It's Monday night, and welcome to the Sports Hounds. I'm Rob Brinkman. He's Brad Ryer. Frank Vesby is producing the show. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button. Turn those notifications on. Don't miss anything here. October, great month. Don't want to be missing stuff. Baseball playoffs, hockey starting up. Ben Simmons looks like he's going to finally decide to grace the NBA with his presence. And obviously, we got rocking and rolling with Week 5 of the NFL. As always, we're brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. Our doc, make them yours too. Dr. Paul Vidal, 2 convenient locations, Burlington and Cherry Hill. He's our doc here at A2D Radio. Make them yours too. Also brought to you by Body Check Wellness, a line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. They come in extracts, blends, gummies, and topicals. Use promo code A2D, 25% off. Also brought to you by Robbie Lutman, Sunrise Detox Center. Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center at Sunrise Detox. If you need mental health therapy or addiction detox, 856-651-8117. Tell them Tom Arnone sent you. Tell them the Sports Hound sent you. Tell them A2D Radio sent you. There's no shame in asking for help. We got a lot going on. Hockey starts tomorrow. Back end of the show. NHL preview. Rays, Red Sox in Fenway. Game 4. Closeout game for the Red Sox potentially. Rays on the brink of elimination. White Sox on the brink of elimination. Brewers on the brink of elimination. We got all the baseball playoffs, and obviously we have Week 4 of the NFL. We got a big Monday night game. Colts, Ravens, brought to you by FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Sign up now at FanUp, only on the Apple App Store, and win your share of great prizes, daily NFL contests, and more. Sign up today. FanUp app, only in the Apple App Store. Lot going on, Brad. Let's get to our poll question. Poll question brought to you by Johnny Coyle, our friend down there, all campus. 20% off everything in our store, including hats, shirts, and our team cornhole sets for all our subscribers. If you're not a subscriber to A2D Radio, become a member. $9.99 a month. Great perks, giveaways, shout-outs, merchandise, everything. You get weekly picks from the Money Pop podcast. They're on fire. So it's a no-brainer, $9.99 A2D membership. Let's get to our poll question, Brad. Eagles get a big win yesterday in Carolina. Looked dead in the water for pretty much 56 minutes of the 60 minutes of this game. Our poll question tonight, Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback. Now, I applaud Jalen Hurts. I applaud the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. They showed a lot of heart. They showed a lot of determination. They got some big plays. They forced some turnovers. They got a big block punt with 4 minutes to go. They're able to eke by Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey. 21-18 on the road. But, Brad, the elephant in the room is Jalen Hurts is not a franchise quarterback. He's just not. I don't believe so. But I think he can be. I think he can be an efficient game manager. And he is capable of making plays with his legs. And, if he can find the receivers and throw accurately to them, then, he could be a little bit more. I mean, the guy is very athletic. I'll give him that. I don't see it right now. I mean, it just seems like every pass, even the long ones that he completed, I mean, the guys were so open that they were able to catch the ball anyway, but the balls were not on target. They're reaching back, reaching from side to side. I mean, he's not an accurate quarterback, and against a good team, he's not very efficient. And Carolina, their defense was just on the field too long. I think that's kind of what Carolina's offense yesterday was terrible. And I give more credit. Actually, I thought the Eagles' defense won the game.
to be quite honest with you.
Oh,
Their
defense,
defense
special
yesterday,
teams.
their defense was sensational.
Hargrave up the middle is been just a straight animal. Fletcher Cox played well yesterday. You get two
That
picks
was
from
Fletcher.
Darius Slay.
That was Fletcher Cox and Darius Slay's coming out party yesterday.
And Hargrave, he's been there the whole year.
Yep.
And you see a former third-round pick, Davion Taylor, he gets on the field, and, he's starting to kind of do some stuff for you. Because I can't watch Alex Singleton play middle linebacker anymore. I can't do it. Everyone wants to look at his tackle totals. The guy stinks. The guy can't cover you or me. He's not big or strong enough to step in a hole to play run support. He doesn't have any lateral quickness to be able to you saw the Chiefs game. I explained it to you right here last week, the Chiefs game. The Chiefs just stretched out the Eagles' defense, and Alex Singleton didn't have enough lateral quickness to step in the hole and make a play. And against Dallas, they just pounded the A and B gap all freaking night, and Alex Singleton doesn't have the size and strength to step in the hole. I can't watch Alex Singleton play anymore. I can't. He's not good. Oh, but he had 14 tackles. It doesn't matter, Brad. If he has 14 tackles when the guy's 12 yards down the field already, it doesn't work. But, back to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is just not a franchise quarterback. I know that you have a immense divide in this city among this fan base that want Jalen Hurts to be good so bad, want him to be the guy so bad. I want him to be the guy too, but I watch every Sunday, and he's just not the guy. And I like that he can run, and I like that he kept his head in the game and was able to put together a drive at the very end to get a big win. But Jalen Hurts cannot stand in the pocket 20 to 25 times and make 15 to 18 throws to be able to lead this team to victory. He didn't yesterday. The defense plays out of their mind. They get a win, and that's great. Now you're going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thursday, where he's going to have to go toe-to-toe with a offense in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a quarterback with Tom Brady, who
with the banged up thumb, though.
I don't care. He's still humming. And we'll see. He was icing his thumb on the sidelines. Look, I don't know what to make of that. My gut tells me nothing and that Tom Brady's going to be fine. But the Eagles, like against the Chiefs, they're going to have to score points. They're going to have to score points. They're going to have to make the basic throws that over 60 minutes that I just don't know that Jalen Hurts is capable of doing. And back to the fan base and the divide in this city. Look, you had Nick Foles. Carson Wentz gets hurt in 2017. Nick Foles comes in. He wins the Super Bowl. Now you got the Folesian society going nuts. People don't like Carson. Carson comes back too early from his injury. He gets benched, and then Nick Foles goes on yet another run. So now Carson's beyond the 8 ball. So now there's a portion of the fan base that is just anybody but Carson, which is fine. Carson's done himself no favors in Indianapolis. We'll see how many wins the Colts have at the end of the season, because I do think they're going to get their fair share of wins. A brutal schedule to start for the Colts. And it doesn't
get any easier tonight.
Again, they're on the road in Baltimore. So, I get that. And now, you have people who hated Carson so much that they're just blind to the fact that Jalen Hurts just isn't that great of a quarterback. I don't know what else you have to see. Now, is he young? Yes. Does he have room to grow? Yes. But is he going to wake up tomorrow morning with a howitzer on his right arm and be able to throw the ball through a brick wall like Justin Herbert can, like Joe Burrow can, like Josh Allen can? Because I don't want to hear about his athleticism anymore, because every freaking quarterback, Brad, in the league that's labeled a franchise quarterback can move and run and is mobile. It's a prerequisite.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a prerequisite for the position.
And a lot of them that you consider game managers can move too.
Right. Yeah. Look at it. Who are statues back there these days?
I can't think of any quarterback that's a statue anymore.
Mahomes not a statue. Lamar Jackson's not a statue. Carson's not a statue. Herbert, he's not a statue.
No.
Back there, Russell Wilson, who he unfortunately got hurt in the Thursday night game, and Seattle's going to have a tough time without him, but he's not a statue. I guess Brady.
Seattle, I think, is done.
Brady, Mac Jones. Brady's a statue.
Yeah, but you know what? He still can move for his age.
So, I mean, like, what are we talking about when you want to bring up his mobility and his athleticism? Every freaking quarterback under the age of 27, 28 years old is mobile, is athletic, can move, can extend plays. And by the way, they all have stronger arms than Jalen Hurts. They're all more accurate than Jalen Hurts. Look, I hate the rain on the because I'm ecstatic as hell that they won yesterday.
Yeah, that was a big win. You were looking at possibly being on Friday morning 1-5.
Right. Now you're 2-3. Your head's above water. You got a tough game against Tampa Bay. You are at home. It's a short week for Tampa. It looks like Levante David's going to be out a couple weeks. You mentioned Brady's thumb. So, their secondary's banged up. So if Jalen Hurts is going to wake up on Thursday morning with a howitzer on his right arm out of a sudden, be able to throw the football and be able to complete 18, 20, 25 passes in big spots, this would be the time to do it. Because Tampa Bay's defense isn't great. Their secondary is full of holes. And I don't think Nick Sirianni is going to even attempt a run play against that run defense of Tampa Bay. Which that's a whole nother thing. Because Nick Sirianni does no favors for his supposed potential franchise quarterback by not running the football.
They're going to the Tampa Bay offense is going to probably own the Eagles defense, and that's going to be a problem. I think you're going to be in a situation where it's going to be not quite like the Chiefs, but very close to what happened with the Chiefs. I mean, Tampa Bay, you're going to have your hands full trying to stop that Tampa Bay offense. And I just don't think you're going to be able to score enough points. I think Tampa Bay's defense is going to stop the Eagles for the most part. The Eagles will probably get a couple of, they'll probably get their 17, 20 points, but I think Tampa Bay's going to probably put between 30 and 35 points up on the board. I don't think there's any way they could stop them.
If you don't score 30 points on Thursday night at the Link on Thursday Night Football, you ain't winning the game.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Eagles are going to have to score 38 points to win. That's my opinion. Now, if you think they can do that, that's fine. Let's see. They haven't proven it to me yet. Maybe they will. I just don't know that they can do that.
I agree with you.
I think right now Jalen he's graduated to the point where I think he can be a game manager, and if he doesn't turn the ball over, he can win. He can win a game. I just don't see against a good. Let me ask you a question. If Tampa Bay is ahead by a touchdown, let's say it's 27-20 in the fourth quarter, there's 2 minutes to go in the game. Do you think Jalen Hurts can drive the Eagles down the field and tie up the game? In your heart of hearts, do you really think he can do that against that defense?
No, probably not.
That's what I'm saying. Back in 2017 when Foles was out there, yeah, he probably could. Carson Wentz back in 2017, yeah, I think they could. He's not accurate enough to be able to do that against a real good team. He hasn't proven he can do that. He couldn't do it against San Francisco. Dallas, it wasn't really his fault because the defense just completely allowed Dallas to dominate the game. I mean, and his offensive line gave him no chance. And let's be honest, Dallas is an elite team right now. I mean, I hate to say it because I can't stand Dallas, but they're really good this year.
I mean, yeah, and you look at they can really kind of put this thing away and go run and hide and go after that 1 seed fairly quickly here because their next 3 games, I know next week's in Foxborough. I don't quite recall the order of the next 2, but it's Atlanta and Minnesota. I mean, you got to think the way they're playing football right now, they're going to get 2 out of those 3. Be minimum. 6-2
minimum. I mean, the only team that could possibly beat them would be maybe Minnesota if Minnesota shows up and has one of those great games. But Minnesota has been
they barely beat Detroit yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Minnesota and it's interesting. I called it with them. I had a bad feeling about them at the beginning of the year. And they have not shown me any reason to not take back what I said about them at the beginning of the year that they're going to be a mess. I mean,
They're just mad. They're just a mad team. The Vikings.
Yeah, they're like on the way to nowhere. They'll be, if they're lucky, they'll be 9-8. Most likely worse than that. So that's going to be a real problem.
You got Dallas running away with the division. So now you're relying on if you potentially want to make the playoffs in the NFC, you got to make a wild card, which is going to be very tough. And if you're 1-4, staring 1-5 in the face after Thursday Night Football, you got no shot.
Oh, I agree. That's why it was such a huge win. I mean, and really, that was a gigantic win for the Eagles. At least it keeps them. I mean, if they go 2-4, which I would expect they're not going to be able to. They're not going to beat it. You can't expect them to beat Tampa Bay. But
I mean, they're 7-point home dogs on a short week. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be tough for them to be able to win that game. But I mean, they still even if they're 2-4, if they can find a way to win 9-10 games, they've got a chance. They've got a chance to be a wild card.
And, this is the gauntlet of the Philadelphia Eagles schedule right now at the beginning here, because after Tampa, it kind of it loosens up, because then you go out to Vegas and you go out to Denver. I think Vegas stinks. I think they showed their true colors yesterday.
Yeah, I think 1-1 is not an unreasonable expectation out of that.
Denver's solid. Remember, they were my sleeper AFC wildcard team.
The only issue with Denver right now is that their quarterback's injured.
Well, Bridgewater played yesterday, or did he leave? Yeah, Bridgewater played yesterday.
All right, because I didn't see any of that game. I mean, look, Pittsburgh was due to come back and play well yesterday. I mean, that was just something that you had to expect at some point they were going to snap out of it. They still have a lot of talent.
And then you're going to be getting down the stretch. You're going to be playing these East teams that just aren't very good. Washington stinks. The Giants. With all due respect, your Giants stink.
Well, it's not even a question of that now, Rob. They're down 10 guys now.
Yeah, and they're injured.
I mean, they're bad and now they're injured. So I mean, what's left?
If you can go steal one on Thursday, and Hurts can look good and build some confidence. Because, you got the Detroit Lions on the horizon. You have the Jets on the horizon. You have the Giants twice. You have Washington twice. So, there's some games there. Vegas, I think that's a win. Denver, we'll see how I'm feeling that week. But,
it's tough to win. It's tough to win in that stadium, though.
It is tough to go out there, and they do have to go out to Denver. Yeah, I mean, you got the Chargers. You play the Chargers, who look really, really good, but at least you get that game at home.
Yeah, the Chargers. So, the Chargers can score. Are another team that can score. They look really good.
But I'm going to continue. But Jalen Hurts is bless his soul, he's not a franchise quarterback. But overall team outlook, I'm going to continue to be optimistic week to week, one game at a time, until I don't see a path to my predicted 8 wins. Which I don't think is that crazy outlandish of a win-loss record.
Yeah, but 8-9 is not going to get you to the playoffs, though.
It's not, but, I mean, Brad, you go from 4 wins to 8 wins. You double your win total from a year ago. That's successful season.
That's solid, if they can do it.
I'm just saying, yesterday, if you're 1-5 after 6.
Oh, no, that's why.
The wheels are off, and you're looking at 5 and.
The game became a winnable game. Because they didn't have their boy in there. I mean, that was, without him, they're just not. Yeah, but they're not even close to being a good team. Without McCaffrey, they have nobody.
Yeah, but I mean, Darnold still threw 3 picks. Now, what? He doesn't throw 3 picks if McCaffrey's in there. You can make that argument.
I mean, who knows? Darnold. I don't like Darnold anyway. I mean. He's just he showed his jet form yesterday, to be quite honest with you. But I mean, again, he probably doesn't have that many picks, because then he's giving the ball to McCaffrey, and the guys he's probably the top fantasy guy top round fantasy pick in a lot of leagues, I would imagine. So I mean, there's a big difference when he's not playing. I mean, you can't not say that it doesn't make a difference when your franchise player is not playing.
So,
injury.
but the Eagles, what they can
Eagles
build on.
defense was great though yesterday. They were.
That's what they need, and that's what I thought that this because I believe in John. I still do believe in Jonathan Gannon. I think it'll be a lot easier if someone other than Alex Singleton can step up at middle linebacker. Maybe it's Davion Taylor, maybe it's Stuart Bradley, TJ Edwards. All the guys I listed above are better than Alex Singleton. So if they can somewhat solidify that middle linebacker position, I've been impressed with the secondary. I've been impressed with the defensive tackles. The defensive ends can be frustrating because they're always going outside, and Barnett and Sweat. Looks like Milton Williams, a third-round pick out of Louisiana Tech. He's starting to, kind of get a bigger role. So I believe in this defense. Slay played awesome yesterday. Nelson from Pittsburgh has been awesome. McLeod's come back and solidified the safety spot. And, you have guys that came over from Minnesota like Harris and Wilson who are they are what they are.
They're okay.
So, like,
they're okay. They're okay to come in off the bench. I mean, you can't just play defense with 11 guys. You need all your guys because everybody. Defense is really a team effort. I mean, you got to have guys that can come in and out of the lineup. Otherwise the guys will be worn out by the second quarter. I mean, nobody plays every down anymore in the NFL.
All right, let's get to some comments here. Bryce Blackwell's in the house. Defense was solid. Offense was rough till the fourth. Even in the fourth, you get the block punt. That's a short field. You get 3 picks. Those are short fields. I have no confidence that Jalen Hurts can sustain a 10-plus play, 80-yard drive and consistently in this league.
Rob, the other thing you have to remember how fortunate the Eagles were with that ridiculous snap from Kelsey early in the game that forced the safety. I mean that was. I mean, there was how many Carolina Panthers had a chance to jump on that ball and make it a touchdown, which really would have put the game out of reach. I mean, they were very fortunate about that. I had a feeling about that after the Eagles were able to get the break, have the ball go out of the end zone, so it was only 2 points instead of 7. I thought that was a huge missed opportunity for Carolina, and the Eagles were able to get the points back in the fourth quarter.
Tampa might kill us. These are all from Bryce Blackwell. The organization doesn't believe in Jalen Hurts. I don't know.
I don't know about that yet. I think it's too early.
I'm not buying that quite yet.
Yeah, I think they want to see. I think they want to see what he can do, and they kind of figured at the beginning. They kind of figured in the offseason they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, so let's see what the guy can do. And if he can't do it, we'll have 3 first-round picks next year, and we can draft two players of whatever need we need, and pick a quarterback if we have to, or trade those picks and get it and pick up a quarterback from somewhere.
I mean, it really puts you ahead of the game if you have 3 first-round picks, especially if 3 of the picks are in the top 15 or so. So I'm not giving up.
If they're not quarterbacks, it's huge.
If you don't have to pick a quarterback with 3 first-round picks, that's huge.
Absolutely.
Right there in the East next year. Steven Rodriguez is as accurate, but he can be with better coaching and a balanced run game. Look, what I am convinced about yesterday is this coaching staff does not believe in Miles Sanders. And I don't believe in Miles Sanders either. He gets 11 carries yesterday, 45 yards. Look, he's a dancer. He's a dancer out there. This Miles Sanders doesn't fit what this Sirianni and this coaching staff wants to do for whatever reason. I'm convinced of that. I was surprised that Gainwell only got 3 touches yesterday. I would have liked to see Mood out because you have to run the ball. Tommy's saying it on Monday Morning Quarterback, and last night on Agree to Disagree. Throwing the ball is awesome. It's great. It's entertaining. You can't get away with this run-pass balance being this askew. You can't do it.
Gonna be. It is what it is right now. Let's just watch the games, see how they progress. Let's see if Hurts can improve. I mean, what does he play now? 8 games?
8, 9 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a little early. A lot of quarterbacks take 2-3 years to develop. I mean, it took Josh Allen 2 years before 2 seasons before he became what he is now. What he is now. This year he's even better because he's got Emmanuel Sanders to throw the ball to. In addition to Stephon Diggs. So you look at Buffalo, especially what they did to the Chiefs last night. I mean, he put on a show.
Brad, the Chiefs aren't good.
They can't stop anybody. Their defense is terrible.
And I think that there's a little bit of a blueprint going around the NFL on how to stop the high-powered Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Well, if you watch the Tampa Bay route last year in the Super Bowl, which, by the way, both of us picked Tampa Bay last year to win that game. Just want to add that.
I had the Chiefs. I can't lie.
I thought you picked Tampa Bay.
In the Super Bowl? No. I love the Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
I was Mahomes up. I mean, I thought it was going to be like a passing of the guard type of thing.
Yeah, I thought when they shut down New Orleans and Green Bay, I thought that they could shut down Kansas City too. So, I mean, whatever. In any event, they're still going to be. The Chiefs are in trouble this year.
Well, I mean, it's Reed too, because what teams are doing with Mahomes? No one's blitzing Mahomes. No one. That's social suicide. It's just not going to work. You can't blitz Patrick Mahomes. He's too good. He's too athletic. Those pass catchers are too fast and too skilled for you to blitz Mahomes. So they're rushing 4, rushing 3 sometimes, dropping everybody in coverage because they don't have a running game now because Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a sprained MCL. He's going to be out a couple weeks. So,
well, again, that's another example. You can't just throw the ball in every down. You're not going to beat good teams in this league by doing that.
And, they're not running, and Andy Reid is just not adjusting to teams dropping, everybody in the coverage. Nick Sirianni's Pink Kyler, I'm not sold on this RPO offense thing. Neither am I. Because that's Sirianni's cop-out to not running the ball. So he justifies it like, I called a running play, but Hurts checked out of it. That doesn't count, Nick. That doesn't count.
You
got to run the ball up the middle. And the red zone, Brad, you got to run the ball up the middle in the red zone.
Here's the problem, okay? I mean, do you really want Hurts running the ball between the tackles, though? What happened to Jones?
I want Miles Sanders running the freaking ball between the tackles. If it's 1st and 10 on the 10, your first play, 12 out of 10 times, should be a run up the middle. See what you get. See what happens.
Problem is, it has to be a running back. You can't let your quarterback try to run it unless it's like 4th or 4th down. Look what happened to Daniel Jones yesterday. 4th and 1, and he goes in there, and of course, and Dallas targets him and hits him in the head and knocks him out of the game. Which, by the way, how is that not a penalty?
I mean,
he hit him in the head.
It probably should have been, but
listen, Dallas. I got to tell you, the Giants got slaughtered anyway. Not that it would have made a difference, but Dallas was getting some ridiculous calls for them. I mean, some of the calls they were making. They had 2 pass interference plays. One of them was the interception on the bomb that who's that? What was the clown that came in? That guy's
your
terrible,
team,
by the way. Yeah,
on your team.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with your
secondary. Glennon.
Oh, your quarterback, Glennon.
Yeah,
okay.
Glennon. What a clown he is. But in any event, he throws a bomb, and it was pretty obvious that the guy in the Dallas secondary, Diggs, pushed off to get the interception, and they don't call that pass interference. And then the clown call when it's 27-13 and the Giants are on the 2-yard line, and then a clown call when they throw the ball to Tony and he gets pushed down, and they don't call pass interference on a 4th and 2 play, which was obviously pass interference. And then those moron announcers, Joe Buck and his asshole buddy Troy Aikman. Oh, that's not pass interference. You got to let him play. No. How come it's pass interference when somebody does it to Dallas, but when Dallas does it to somebody else, it's not pass interference?
I mean, they get calls. They always have. They always will.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
And the one call that evened everything out was the Des Bryant catch in Green Bay. And what was it?
Well, that was a catch. We know that was a catch.
Which was a catch, but they got screwed. So you know.
Well, they deserve it because of all the calls they do get. But it no. Anyway, I'm digressing to the Giants. I know, but
you're fine.
The quarterback running the ball can be a very dangerous play because Daniel Jones scores a touchdown, but then gets a concussion. God only knows how long he's going to be out.
And look, I was pulling for the Giants yesterday. First of all, anyone but Dallas. I had the Giants +7 yesterday.
Rob, the Giants were in that game. I mean, it's 17-13. It's 17-13 when Jones and Galladay and Saquon Barkley, and then all three of them are out. It's 17-13, and then they still, when it's 27-13 Dallas, they still drove right down the field and were able and were basically cheated out of a touchdown. It could have been 27-20. That could have been a big difference. Instead, the Giants defense just lets down and lets Dallas walk down the field, and then that's it. Now, and Dallas is better than the Giants. We know that. Dallas is by far better than any team in the NFC East this year. But, if the referees are going to just hand them games like that, why bother?
Get some more comments here. Mr. Wing, you've got Hurts for 2 years. Next year's draft class is awful for quarterbacks. You're 100% right on that. So if you don't have to reach for a quarterback, which you shouldn't do anyway, that's fine. But if Hurts does spit the bit, you made a trade before the season started for Gardner Minshew from Jacksonville. I fully expect there to be an open competition next year between Hurts and Gardner Minshew if Hurts, looks bad. And
Rob, I would think that somehow, some way, they will find their quarterback next season, whether it's free agency, a trade. They'll find their quarterback next.
Well, it's going to be Watson. The elephant in the room is Watson.
Yeah,
which I fully expect him to be either a Philadelphia Eagle or a Miami Dolphin next year if he's not in jail.
He's not going to be in jail.
You're probably right about that.
He's
going to get suspended. My point is the dust has got to settle with his legal situation.
All I'm saying about Deshaun Watson is pigs don't go to jail, Rob. Pigs are just pigs.
Right.
It's one thing to be a pig. You don't go to jail for being a pig. Okay? He didn't assault anybody. So
I don't know. It sounds like that's to be determined. Whatever. I don't want to get into.
I'm just saying nobody can really prove that he assaulted anybody. So
I think there's a lot. I think that's a live scenario, so to speak. The Eagles getting Deshaun Watson if Jalen Hurts proves that he's not a franchise quarterback in these 17 games.
Yeah, as I said, they'll if there's nobody to draft, they'll find a way to get a good quarterback. They just will, because it's in their DNA to find a quarterback. They always seem to find somebody that's decent back there. I mean, if they could find Nick Foles when Carson Wentz goes down, I mean, it's always somebody that they always seem to find somebody to be a decent quarterback. They got a pick. Remember that? I mean,
yep.
It always seems like they find somebody who's capable back there. So their quarterback situation will be figured out next year.
Brian Wilson's in the house. Thomas Arnone's in the house. I disagree with the poll as of right now. That's from Tommy. Mr. Wing, RPO is all Foles did to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, but Foles is better at reading the defense. I trust Foles more to read the defense and check out in and out of plays than I am Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, he needs to just get the play and go. He needs it.
One thing about Foles,
because I think this was Carson's downfall. Carson, if you put Carson Wentz in a box and make him read defenses and reactionary football, that's not his thing. Carson Wentz needs to go out there, be an athlete, be a playmaker. Jalen Hurts needs to go out there, Be an athlete, be a playmaker. So I think all this RPO, checking in and out of this at the line, I think that hurts players like Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts.
Doesn't help.
What do the Giants do with Jones? Is he up at the line of scrimmage every play, changing everything?
Sometimes.
But it's every play. It's every play.
Well, he doesn't change. He doesn't change every play, but he will. He does change the play. He's capable of reading defenses. I mean, I like what I've seen out of him this year. He's shown me a big difference this year, and he's tough. I mean, listen, the guy went up the middle yesterday to try to get a touchdown, and he got hammered. Still got in the end zone with a concussion. I mean, he's a tough dude. I got to give the guy some credit.
Mr. Wing, Herbert and Hurts have similar arm strength.
Oh,
no, they don't. No.
They don't. No.
Steven Rodriguez, Tom Brady has always been franchise and not athletic, or can expend plays with his legs, extending plays, yes, but he does it other ways.
When he was younger, he used to extend plays with his legs all the time.
If you look at tell me a quarterback that's a statue in this league that's 28 years old or younger. There's not one.
No.
There's not. Daniel Jones. He's not a statue back there. He's athletic. Jalen Hurts, he's athletic. Lamar Jackson's athletic. Josh Allen's athletic. Mahomes is athletic. Herbert's athletic. Kyler Murray's athletic.
Tua's athletic, although he's hurt.
Tua's athletic, but I don't think Tua's that good. So,
okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm just making your point. Derek Carr even can move around a little bit. I mean, most of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now are very, very athletic, especially the ones that you said that are either in their primes or before hitting their primes. They all are athletic and they can all move. None of them are statues.
Nick Sirianni's pink highlighter, Herbert and Hurts don't belong in the same sentence together. I second the motion. Greg Malakovic, what's up, fellas? We won a pointless game that continues to mask the issues that we have. I won money, and I'm still pissed we won. Come on, Greg. You won money. The Eagles won. They're 2-3. Their heads are above water. You're not 1-4. You're not staring 1-5 in the face. Like, come on. It's not a pointless.
You're in the game. You're in the game.
Pointless win. Come on.
Yeah, no win is pointless when it's game 5. Okay, and they did save their season yesterday.
And he agrees to the poll. He disagrees to the poll. He's not even close to a franchise guy, which I agree. Mr. Wing, best defense against Brady is to keep him off the field, run the ball. Guess what, guys? Nick Sirianni is not going to run the ball.
If you think they're going to run the ball,
just forget it. Just forget it. I'm already over it.
There is no way they're going to throw 50 times against Tampa Bay. They have to. They won't be. Nobody runs the ball in Tampa Bay.
I'm over it, and not just against Tampa, against everyone.
I mean, even Dallas, when Dallas played Tampa Bay, they couldn't run the ball on Tampa Bay. They were throwing the ball. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense against the run is just ridiculously good.
Nick, he's checking us out on Facebook. He's not a Hurts guy. Benny Nation, would be nice if we would stop shooting ourselves in the foot with all these penalties. Yeah, and they turn the ball over too. Like that one, Hurts overthrew a deep route by a mile and the safety intercepted it. Like that can't happen.
What about the free play when he threw it out of bounds?
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. That looked like Eli when he was 39 years old, I mean, come on.
Julio Figueroa, Brady might throw a few picks. His thumb might throw him off. I think that's wishful thinking. I wouldn't put any stock into Tom Brady icing his thumb in a 45-17 blowout of the Miami Dolphins. I would put zero stock into it. I wouldn't be counting on Tom Brady to be making mistakes against what's a pretty average, realistically speaking, a pretty average Eagles defense. They played well yesterday, but, they've had games where they haven't played so good as well. So
yeah, I remember. And remember, I mean, They played a team that was missing arguably one of the best running backs in the game, who could do it all. He didn't play, so there's a big difference. And they also, by the way, Carolina got hammered by Dallas too. So I mean, it's not like you're looking at a team that, oh my God, they beat a good. If they can find a way to beat a couple of good teams this year, that would go a long way towards me changing my mind about the Eagles and changing my mind about Hurts. But right now, I mean, if you take a look at the NFC West, there's probably going to be 3 playoff teams in that division right now. I mean, the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Rams are all going to be in the playoffs.
You think the Niners, really?
Yeah.
I'm not sold on this youth movement they have going on here.
Yeah, but they can run the ball, and they're still good real good defensively.
I'll concede the Cardinals because they look awesome, and I'll concede the Rams because they look awesome. I can't concede the Niners. So
well,
I'll
as
give
far
you
as them with the Eagles, they're going to win. They're going to win tiebreakers against the Eagles because they won that one game. In the schedule, are the Bears going to be any good?
The Bears are 3-2.
Yeah, is that going to continue?
Well, you know how I feel about Justin Fields. I'm a believer.
I'm starting to get there with you, with him.
And you look at that division. They're not as good as the Packers. I believe they play each other next week, the Packers and the Bears. But the Bears, they're better than the Vikings. They're better than the Lions.
Yeah, they should be able to go 4-0 against those two teams.
By the way, did you see Dan Campbell crying at his press conference yesterday?
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
He was crying, weeping. Dan Campbell, the head football coach of the Detroit Lions, weeping openly because they lost on yet another field goal. Oh, guys, they try so hard in practice. I wish they would have won. Like, are you kidding me? Weeping openly? You can't weep openly at your press conference. You're the head of the table. You're the head football coach. You're crying?
That's almost as bad as Richie Kotite. He's a little before your time, Rob, but he did stupid stuff like that.
Oh yeah, my dad tells me he was a big moron.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not. I don't think he's that bad of a football coach, to be honest with you. I mean, you don't have a franchise quarterback. You don't really have much going on in terms of talent, especially on defense. And they fight. I mean, you can't cry in your press conference. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, what do you think of Kadarius Toney right now?
He looked really good. Yeah, what we had 10 for 189 yesterday.
198.
198.
He would have hit over 200, but he got thrown out because he got roughed up a couple of times, and he decided, since the Giants are getting their brains beat in anyway, that he was going to start throwing punches. Which I don't blame him, because you know what, he needs to get a little respect and not allow people to do that to him. So good for him.
Yeah, and then Judge is scolding him off the field. Like, Joe Judge
Joe Judge.
He stinks.
I'm starting to not like him more and more that I watch him. But Toney looks like the real deal. It may not have been such a bad move for them to trade down to get him.
Well, I mean, I think you wanted
whether he's a second-round pick or a first-round pick. The bottom line is, if the Giants didn't draft him with the 19th selection, he would not have been available when it came time for them to draft him the second time.
Yeah, and you make a trade and you get extra picks.
Right. So it wasn't
you're fine.
Wasn't so bad. And you know what? Again, the way he's looked so far was pretty good. He did a nice job in the Wildcat too.
It's amazing, these rookie. I mean, Devontae Smith's having a good season. Jamar Chase. By the way, I'm a big Cincinnati Bengals fan this year, Brad. They're a good team. They should have beat the Packers yesterday. I know you can say that.
That field goal kicker, I mean,
brutal.
Holy smokes, is that bad? And my Buffalo Bills are looking pretty good.
Yeah, they just completely outclassed the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, they clowned them yesterday.
I'm done with the Chiefs. They're not that good. I keep waiting for them to have like this explosion where they show me that they're a Super Bowl contender. They're not a Super Bowl contender. The Chargers are much better. The Bills are much better. The Ravens are much better. So, the Chiefs, they have a lot of work to do.
They better turn it around soon, because the teams in the AFC, there's too many good teams in the AFC right now. For that, they're not going to make it if they're 9-8. I can tell you right now. Or if they're 10-7, they may have a hard time making it. There's a lot of good quality football teams.
They remind me of the Phillies in the sense that they have a lot of top tier talent, but then the rest of the guys, they're just not that good. Like nobody can make a play besides Tyreek Hill.
Well, Kelsey can, but
Kelsey can, but he's a tight end. He's not a receiver.
No,
is my point. But and then they're not running the ball, except against the Eagles' stinky run defense with stinky Alex Singleton in the middle. They got a lot of work to do in Kansas City. They are in serious jeopardy of not making the playoffs. Serious jeopardy.
I would agree. San Diego and Denver both look good.
San Diego, Justin Herbert is the truth.
San Diego, excuse me, Los Angeles. I still call them
we
San
know,
Diego.
Yeah. The Chargers
are no joke. They are a very good football team.
But I mean,
they went into Washington and they stuffed them. I mean, yesterday, what a game that was yesterday. 47-42. I mean, that's a huge win for them. That's
a good defense too. Cleveland good.
Yep.
Tough physical team, and
Cleveland's no joke. You know, and that Justin Herbert, boy, he is really good.
And then Arizona, the only unbeaten team in the league. They beat San Francisco yesterday. And I was impressed with that win because, they grinded out.
San Francisco gave them a heck of a battle, though.
Yeah, and I was impressed that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals were able to win kind of a defense grinded out game. I thought that was a big win for them.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed that they were able to play a physical game against a team like San Francisco, because San Francisco is a very physical football team. That is the one thing they have going in their favor. And then you got the game tonight between the Ravens and the Colts. Boy, I
that's getting ready to kick off. We'll preview that for you a little bit. We got some fantasy stuff rolling in here. Charlie Hillgartner down by 26 at Blankenship, and Andrew W. Andrews W of L. W or L. Okay, so he has Blankenship and Mark Andrews, and he needs 26 points. I'm going to go ahead and assume you're in a PPR league because everyone kind of does PPR these days. 26, so that's
going to need a couple of touchdowns.
I think you're going to need a couple touchdowns from your tight end there, which could happen. He's a good tight end, Mark Andrews.
Andrews on the Ravens? He's really good.
Yeah, Andrews on the Ravens, yeah.
I could see him getting a couple of touchdowns tonight.
Brad, I like the Colts in this game. I don't know if the Colts are going to win this game outright, but I'll take the 7.5, depending on your book.
It is 7. It's 7 to 7.5.
Yeah,
that's too many.
Let me look at it right before here.
That's too many. I would take the Colts.
7.5 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I would take the Colts and the points, but I think the Ravens are going to win the game. I think it's going to be a close game.
Look, and I guess I'm going to die on this hill with Carson Wentz. I can't fathom to believe that I saw what I saw in 2017, and now he just stinks. And he can't play anymore. I can't. I think the Colts are going to rally. I don't think the Titans are that good in that division. I really don't.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? It did happen to RG3.
It did happen to RG3, yes. But
I mean,
wouldn't you agree that Carson Wentz is a better thrower of the football, just a better pocket quarterback than RG3?
RG3 really could do it all. That his first couple of years his first year in the league until he hurt his knee, he was doing it all, and he was dangerous with his legs and everything. I mean, but after he got hurt, and it's a similar situation with Wentz. It's just it seems like ever since he hurt his knee, he's never been quite the same guy.
Didn't RG3 not start that season as the starter in Washington?
You're right. You're right, because I think
Carson went in.
I'm pretty sure he came. He started a game. I don't remember who they played against, but his first game he had 5 touchdown passes, if I remember correctly.
And RG3 also did like he hit the ground running as a rookie. Carson Wentz went 8-8 his rookie year, and then took the jump in 2017 with the Eagles. But like
after he got hurt, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. Both of them after they got hurt, they started to digress quite a bit.
I refuse to believe that Carson Wentz just stinks. He doesn't stink. There's a good quarterback in there. There is. Is there a great quarterback in there? Maybe, maybe not. But he's not horrendous. He's just not. And I think he shows well tonight, and I'll take the Colts +7. Ravens probably win. Don't forget, fill out your lineup on FanUp. Best way to play fantasy sports. No salary caps. Challenge your friends. Use promo code A2D. Get a bunch of free money. 10,000. What is it? 10,000 plus 15,000. Frankel, flash it up. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. I haven't won yet on it, but it's so much less stressful to do your team without a salary cap. And you challenge your friends. You get a bunch of free money from all the A2D promo codes that we got. It's just the future of daily fantasy. So get on board. I got Lamar Jackson tonight. I got Jonathan Taylor's in my super flex tonight. You get a super flex guy, so you get 1.5 times. You get a multiplier of 1.5 times on your.
Well, I love Lamar in fantasy football.
It's no brainer.
He must get you 25 to 30 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to go over his posted rushing total every week, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and he's gonna throw for he'll throw for 200 yards. He'll find a way to do that. I mean, he'll get a touchdown pass, and he'll run one. You're gonna get two touchdowns out of him guaranteed.
Are the Ravens the best team in the AFC?
No, I think the Bills are right now. To be honest with you,
Bills.
I think so.
You guys think it's a 3-horse race between the Bills, the Chargers, and the Ravens, right?
Yeah,
I'm missing someone.
Right now, it is.
Boy, that Herbert man, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, I listen. You know, I love Lamar. I know everybody says he can't throw the ball. He seems to throw the ball okay, though.
He's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, he has, and he throws the ball well enough that they, in the right situation, they could win a Super Bowl with him as quarterback. Listen, you can't say they can't, because the Ravens won the Super Bowl with far inferior quarterbacks than him. I mean, are you going to tell me Flacco is better than him? Or the bum they had in 2000 when they beat the Giants, where they really didn't even throw the ball. They just gave the ball to Jamal Lewis every play. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, and played defense.
Yeah. When they had like one of the greatest defenses of all time. That one year that the Giants got slaughtered in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember the guy's name, but he was terrible, and they won the Super Bowl.
Who, Dilfer?
Yeah, Trent Dilfer. Yeah, he was terrible, and they won the Super Bowl anyway. So don't tell me Lamar can't win a Super Bowl. If Dilfer can win a Super Bowl, if Jeff Hostetler could win a Super Bowl, if Nick Foles can win a Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson could certainly win a Super Bowl.
So we got Colts, we got Ravens. We'll do early leans in a little bit. We got a hockey preview. Season starts tomorrow out of nowhere. NHL start. We got some
NHL is back, baby.
Let's get to some baseball here. Brad, the Red Sox just blew this game open in the bottom of the third in Fenway. They're up 4-0 on the Tampa Bay Rays.
It's never over in Fenway Park, though. You know that.
That's true, but I mean, these bats are on fire for Boston. They're on absolute fire.
That's probably because they're cheating again.
Maybe.
Listen, I wouldn't put anything past Alex Cora. He's a snake in the grass. I wouldn't put anything past Houston. They're both tried and convicted cheaters. So, let them both meet in the playoffs, and hopefully, they'll get smoked in the World
Series. There's JD Martinez. There's another run. JD Martinez smacks it off the monster. Gets a long single out of it because he can't run. But I mean, Boston is off and running. They're looking to close this baby out and eliminating the Tampa Bay Rays. They're just on fire. The
100-win Rays are going to go up in smoke. How about that?
But I mean, how many times did I say that? And then I finally cave with, the way they play, they manage their bullpen. You can't do that over 162 games.
Well, they did over 162. The problem was the 4 games after that. They ran out of gas. Listen, you got to give them some credit, though. I mean, they had to get rid of. They got rid of Morton, and they got rid of Blake Snell, and Glass now got hurt. So they lose 3 pitchers, and they still won 100 games.
And then they have these guys.
But you can't sit there. Boston's just outplaying them right now. Boston's on fire. Hey, look, they blasted Garrett Cole too.
And then you got the other series, the American League, Chicago. You get a rain out. You get a rain out in Chicago today. They'll play tomorrow. White Sox, they survived last night. They get a big win.
How about a gut check? How about a gut check win for the Chicago White Sox? You're down 5-1 and on the brink of getting swept, and you come back and you score 5 runs to take a 6-5 lead, and then the Astros come back to tie it 6-6, and then they go and they win the game 12-6 anyway. That to me tells me that the White Sox are growing up. That was a huge win for them.
Well, now you can go. Now the rain out helps you because you don't have to use that 4th guy in terms of the starter. So now you can go back to Lynn. I know he had a rough go of it in game 1, but he's a really good pitcher. He's a straight bulldog. I'm a big Lance Lynn fan.
Well,
and then you get Giolito in game 5.
Lynn's pitching at home, and Lynn has always been a better pitcher at home than he has been on the road. Did Rodon pitch at all in this series?
Who started last night?
I'm trying to remember.
Was it Cease?
Yeah, it was Cease. Cease got killed yesterday.
So Rodon won't pitch unless he needs to be a long man.
Well, they'll probably use him out of the pen. If Lynn runs into any trouble, then they'll bring him in out of the pen.
So I wouldn't count the White Sox out. I wonder what the series price is now that they're down 2-1.
Well, I would not count the White Sox out. That was just, to me, if you've ever, for a young team to grow up, and take that next step, they need that gut check win, and they got it last night. I think they're a very dangerous team now.
So it looks like they are going to send Rodon out tomorrow. I stand corrected. They're going to start Rodon, and McCullers is going to get the start for Houston, despite the rainout, which I think is a big, giant mistake by La Russa. Go with your
Rodon?
ace. Rodon is starting tomorrow, according to the DraftKings.
But Rodon was terrific this year.
I don't know. I think I'm rolling with my ace. And Boston is just piling it on. I don't know, but they got another extra base hit there. That's got to be 6, right?
So who's getting pounded? Who's getting pounded right now?
Who started? I think McClanahan. Is McClanahan still in there? I think McClanahan started.
Well, their pitching finally caught up with them.
I mean, they're just playing wall ball. I mean, I think that was Renfroe just hit it off the fence. Martinez just hit it off the fence. Verdugo is playing great. Devers and Bogart speak for themselves. They're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out, especially if they're going to get starts from Pivetta like they did last night. And they're getting innings from Pivetta. Guy didn't know his ass from his elbow here in Philadelphia, but they're getting great innings. Christian Vasquez is in your 8-hole. A little dangerous lineup. Very dangerous lineup.
They've been so far in the playoffs, no doubt.
And to the National League, before we get into our NHL preview and get into some early leans, brought to you by FanUp and All Campus down on Ocean City Boardwalk. To answer your question, see if I can get it up here. Box score. Tampa Bay. Yeah, I mean, Colin McHugh started the game, or I guess McClanahan started the game. Colin McHugh came in. He got roughed up. And
yeah, it's 5-0 right now. But,
Chargos is in now.
There was a game this year where Boston had an 8-1 lead against Tampa Bay in Fenway Park, and Tampa Bay came back and beat them 11-9. So, I wouldn't count the Rays out yet, but it's certainly not looking good for the Rays. They definitely can't continue to give up all these runs.
Eagles champ one.
I don't feel sorry for them, and these are two teams that I just can't stand. So as long as whoever loses in humiliating fashion, that's fine for me.
All right, let's get into early leans as they're kicking the ball off in. Let's do some National League first because we got a really good series out west with the Giants and the Dodgers. It's 1-1. Scherzer's on the hill tonight.
Against,
I don't know what.
Against Wood.
Against Alex Wood, yes.
Wood's had a real good year for them this year.
He has, but Scherzer, Dodgers are at home.
Scherzer's been unhittable.
I thought Roberts got really lucky in that wild card game pulling Scherzer like he did. I thought that was a giant fucking mistake if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, but it
lets him go 4 1/3. It worked out. They have a pretty good bullpen, but I mean, I would have stuck with. I mean, you have these horses. There's very few horses in terms of starting pitching. I would have stuck with my horses.
Yeah, that was a strange move. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers. They got talent everywhere.
Julio Urias, he started last game. They won game 2, 9-2. Max Scherzer's on the hill tonight, 9:37 TBS. Should be a great one. I don't know who's going to win. You got to give the Dodgers an advantage with Scherzer on the hill.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, the Giants, they've been pesky all year.
They even pitched Buehler yet?
He pitched game 1 and got roughed up.
He pitched game 1, okay.
So I assume he'll be the game 4 starter.
So, yeah.
Lamar tries to scramble. Big 3rd and 5 here for the Colts defense. 1-3 Colts, 3-1 Ravens. Brad, the Braves are on the brink of advancing to the NLCS. And I knew one of those teams was going to make a run between the Cardinals and the Braves. I got
to tell you, Craig Counsell really screwed up this game for the Brewers today. You take Freddie Peralta out when there's runners on 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, and you have a pinch hitter. I mean, you couldn't try to suicide squeeze with him. You're taking
I love the suicide squeeze.
You couldn't send him up and try to suicide squeeze or safety squeeze or try to do something like that. I mean, you can't take your starting pitcher who's throwing a shutout. You can't take him out of the game after the 4th inning, and then you bring in. I can't remember the guy's name who they brought in, but he was basically your tank of gasoline. And once again, Jock Peterson comes up as a pinch hitter and slams a 3-run homer to go with the home run to left field. The other game 1, or was it game 2? No, game 1 he hit a home run to left field, and then game 2 that big base hit to center field. That guy's doing it all. He's 3 for 3 as a pinch hitter. I mean, coming off the bench to have a guy, that's a weapon to come off the bench.
And the Braves, they just have guys everywhere. They added guys at the deadline. They have guys, in-house that they developed. Max Fried is just really developing into quite a pitcher.
And in spite of one of the biggest bonehead plays I have ever seen in a playoff game from Adam Duvall, I don't know if you're able to catch this, but the Braves had runners on 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Okay, and I don't remember who hit the ball, but it was a sacrifice fly, and the ball was almost near the warning track. So, the runner tags up from 3rd, and for some reason, Adam Duvall, who was on first base, decides he's going to tag up and try to go to 2nd. It was Yelich. Yelich makes the catch like maybe a step from the warning track. Okay, Duvall decides he's going to try to tag up and go to 2nd base. Meanwhile, the runner on 3rd literally walks, just like trotting home. And Duvall got thrown out, and the run didn't count. I mean, why in the world, if you're Adam Duvall, would you be trying to go to 2nd base on a sacrifice fly to left field?
I don't know.
You go halfway, and if the ball's cut off, and you see the ball's going to get cut off, you go back. But you don't make the commitment to just go there like that. That's crazy. I mean, they were lucky they didn't blow that.
But I mean, look, the Braves are not going to be an easy out, whether they play the Giants or, I mean, they haven't officially taken care of business against the Brewers, but I think the Brewers they're dead. They can't hit, Brad. The Brewers have had this reputation for years and years and years about being this great offensive team in that ballpark, and Brad, they can't hit. 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position.
Yelich is clearly damaged goods as far as his offense is concerned. Clearly, he's not even close to the same. I don't. Maybe it's back. I don't know. But he didn't have a very good year this year offensively.
No, he did not. And they don't really have anyone.
Team, and he killed me this year.
All right, let's get into some early leans. Way too early preview of Week 6 in the NFL. Lines according to DraftKings Sportsbook. Thursday night, Brad, Tampa Bay coming into the link, 6.5-point favorites. I tell you, I
lay the lumber.
I gotta lay the lumber as well. Big third down here for the Colts.
Yeah, I'd lay the
pass
lumber.
To Jonathan Taylor. Look at that. He's gonna pick it up. Wow, he's off to the races. Unbelievable.
He's gone.
Is that Hines?
Yeah, they're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Colts. How about that?
A little swing pass.
Yep, and the
76-yard touchdown. That is Jonathan Taylor.
And the Ravens got caught in a blitz on a screen pass. And, when you blitz and there's a screen pass, if you can get through the original wall, there's nobody back there. And that's what happened. They all came. You had them all behind the line of scrimmage. Look at that. And he was able to get past the original wave. And look at the blocking here. I mean, they got 2 for the price of 1 on that one block, and he's gone. Boy, what speed Taylor has. Look at that.
Really good player.
Yep.
Really good player.
And he
Jonathan
can fly.
Taylor. Look, the Colts, they're going to be heard from. They're 1-3 right now. Look, they lost to the Rams. They lost to the Seahawks with Russell Wilson. They lost to Tennessee. And
they haven't lost to any bad teams.
What did they beat? They beat the Dolphins.
Okay, well, everybody's going to beat the Dolphins this year. I think even the Jets are going to beat the Dolphins. So,
speaking of the Dolphins, they're going over to London to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think the Jaguars will get their first
game.
win.
I'm skipping that game.
I think the Jaguars get their first win.
That game stinks. Brad, your Giants host the Rams.
Oh my God! Of course they do.
The Giants are getting 10.5.
They're all banged up. They're gonna. I mean, the only thing I would say is I think Slayton and Slayton's coming back. I think Sterling. What's his name?
Sterling Shepard.
Sterling Shepard's coming back too. So they'll get Slayton and Shepard back. They're not going to have Galladay, but at least they'll have those guys back. Barkley, from what I understand, it's only going to be a week or two, but he's not going to be playing. I mean, their defense is all beat up. They had 10 guys, 10 starting players from game 1 who weren't playing yesterday in the third and fourth quarter.
And boy, my fantasy hockey draft's about to get going here. I have the 7th pick, Brad. But let's get through these games. Good one in Baltimore.
You may be able to get Artemi Panarin.
I had him last year, and I won 2 games the whole year. So I think I'm targeting a center.
It wasn't
targeting a center or a goalie.
You can't take a goalie in the first round.
Well, it's like the pitchers in baseball. The goalies get a lot of points.
If you can get Vasilevsky, great.
Yeah, but the goalies are like the pitchers in baseball.
Well, you know who you should try to get if you can. Get Pavel Francouz he's the starting goalie for the Colorado.
Never even heard of him. The draft starts in 5 minutes. Brad, good one in Baltimore next Sunday.
If he's at the end of the draft, I would pick him.
Chargers visit the Ravens next week. Chargers 3.5-point favorites. Or I'm sorry, the Ravens are 3.5-point favorites at home.
Against the Chargers.
Big game.
Yeah, oh boy. I might take the Chargers. I know they're
Packers,
going cross country, but
Packers, Bears. I kind of like the Bears here, plus 4.5 at home.
okay, I'd go with that. I'd go with that. Green Bay's been very inconsistent this year.
The Chiefs come east to visit the Washington football team.
They'll win.
I don't 6.5 point spread. I'm done. I'm done betting on the Chiefs. Done. I had them against the Ravens. I had them last night against the Bills. I keep expecting them to just flex their muscles, and they're just not that good.
Yeah, but they play two elite teams. Now they're playing a lousy Washington football team, with their second string quarterback. I like the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs get healthy in Washington.
Bengals Lions. I think the Bengals roll in this one. I think they're a good football team.
Oh, I agree with you. They're not quite ready. They're not quite ready to win the division, but they're vastly improved. Vastly improved.
Colts laying 10 against the Houston Texans.
They'll cover.
Minnesota and Carolina. Interesting game in Carolina. Carolina favored by 1.5 early in the week.
I take Minnesota. Depends if McCaffrey's playing. I'll take Carolina. If he's
Some
not
good
playing,
games. We got Arizona visiting Cleveland. I like the Cardinals.
I like the Browns. I think the Browns end that losing streak.
Boy, the Colts defense is swarming tonight.
Yes, they are. They gotten off to an exceptionally good start.
Dallas visits Foxborough. Patriots 4.5 point home dogs. I love the Cowboys in this game.
Not enough for the Dallas Cowboys. Right
I don't think the Patriots are good.
No, the Cowboys.
I think they gave their best shot against Tampa Bay in the rain and Brady's. I think that's the best they can play. I'm not sold on Mac Jones. I'm not sold on their defense. I'm not sold on their skill position. I'm not sold on anything Patriots. I like the Cowboys there a lot.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys win big in that game.
Raiders visiting Denver. Denver favored by 3 at home. I love Denver here.
Denver.
I don't think the Raiders are good at all. And you know how I feel about Derek Carr.
Yeah, we both thought the Raiders were going to be awful this year, and they won 3 games in a row and had us both nervous that we were wrong. But they're starting to prove that they stink, just like we thought they did.
The Steelers host the Russell Wilson-less Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football. The Steelers are laying 5 points at home. I don't have any feel for that game.
I got to go with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got to win that game. Pittsburgh's got to start playing better now.
Next Monday night, Brad, right here on the Sports Hounds, we'll be watching the Bills traveling to Tennessee. Pretty good game. Titans, 5.5 point home underdogs in prime time.
Last year, I seem to remember that game. Didn't the Titans just destroy Buffalo last year?
I'd have to look that up, but
on a Monday game, I mean,
the Bills are flying. The Bills are flying high, and this is the second game. This is going to be the second game in a row on the road against a good team, and they really embarrassed. They really embarrassed the Kansas City Chiefs. Last night.
Yeah, and they basically sleptwalked through a 40-0 embarrassment against the Texans.
So I would lean Tennessee plus 5.5.
I would take Tennessee in the points. Buffalo has always had their problems with Tennessee.
Boy, how good is Derrick Henry, Brad?
He's unbelievable.
He's a beast. Another 3 touchdowns yesterday, leads the league in rushing again. I can't imagine he doesn't get to 2,000 yards.
Teams are putting 9 guys in the box to try to stop him, and it doesn't matter. And the guy is almost not human. He's so strong.
All right, here we go. All right, let's talk some hockey. My fantasy hockey draft is underway. I'll need your help with this because you're much more of a puckhead than I am. But Brad, I look at it's got to be Colorado's year, right?
You would think so. It's all going to depend on the goaltending. I mean, they got rid of the guy they had last year. I can't remember, Grubauer. And Yeah, they're gonna go with Francois, and Francois was really impressive last year. So we'll see what happens. I think with Colorado, the situation is going to be this: if their goaltending isn't up to par by the trade deadline, they'll go out and do what they have to do to make sure it is up to par. That is an extremely talented hockey team. For the last 100 years in a row, I picked Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay finally is going to be dethroned. They lost too many grit guys, and I just when they weren't winning the Stanley Cup, the problem was they didn't have enough grit. They lose Gaudreau. Uh, that to me was a huge loss for them. They've lost a lot. They've lost a lot in losing Gaudreau. The other two guys that they had, they lost a couple of physical defensemen. I just don't think that they're going to win the Stanley Cup again this year. I think that they are going to win that division, the Atlantic Division. I think Toronto comes in second. Florida comes in third.
I like Florida. I just took Vasilevsky with my first pick.
Oh, Vasilevsky's the best goalie in the NHL.
Yeah, so I got my goalie.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the scoring system's kind of like the baseball pitchers. If you have a goalie that can play most of the games, he's going to get you a lot of points.
Well, he's going to play 60 to 65 games. He's going to win most of them, and he may even pick up a couple of assists for you too. So, and he's going to get between 6 and 8 shutouts too. So
I really want to get my man Barkov here on the way back. He was the only guy that got me any points last year. My team went 2-13 last year, Brad. It was terrible.
Well,
it wasn't Alexander Barkov's fault though.
Well, the only reason you got hurt with Panarin is because of that stupid stuff with.
I would pick him again.
Yeah, he's great. Listen, if you're going to pick a Ranger, Zibanejad and Panarin are the guys to pick. If you could listen, if you're down low and you want a Ranger sleeper, a couple of guys, either Capo Caco or Ryan Strome.
Yeah, we were talking in the
mid rounds, mid to late rounds, if they're available.
Yeah, I got you. We were talking in pre-show about the Metropolitan Division, and
Metropolitan Division.
It kind of looks like it's going to be tough sledding for the Flyers.
They're going to have I think that they're going to come in sixth. I think they'll finish ahead of the Devils, and I think they'll finish ahead of the Blue Jackets. But that division is just really tough. You got the Islanders, you got Carolina, Washington, Pittsburgh, the Rangers. I mean, it's going to be really, really hard. I like the Islanders to win the division. I like Carolina to come in second. I think the Rangers are going to come in third in this one. And the two wild cards from the East are going to be the Capitals and the Bruins. In the West, in the Midwest, or whatever conference you want to call it, the Avalanche win that division. The Wild come in second. Stars come in third. In the Pacific Division, Vegas has a cakewalk. They should win the division easily. I like the Oilers to come in second, and I know the Kraken have some COVID issues to start the season, but I think they're going to come in third. That Pacific is just so bad. I don't think Los Angeles is ready to make the playoffs yet, and San Jose and Anaheim are train wrecks, and Calgary just doesn't have enough talent. I think the Blues and the Blackhawks are going to be your two wild card teams.
That's a team that I have my eye on. Is the Blackhawks, because you got
Blackhawks made some interesting moves.
They got the defense. They got the defenseman, right?
Yes, they did, and they also
got Seth Jones.
Yeah, they got Seth Jones, who is arguably one of the top 10 defensemen in the NHL, who can score. He can drop the gloves. He's physical. He can do it all. He can also run a power play, kill penalties. I mean, he's always going to be in the conversation for the Norris every year. That's the kind of player he is. And they also pick up. Who goalie did they pick up? They picked up was it Leonard or was it Brubauer? I can't remember now. But they picked up one of those two as a goalie. I think it was Leonard. So they're going to be real solid in goal now. And Chicago has done a lot of adjusting, and I think they're gearing up for one last playoff push with Kane and Taves on the team, and I think they're going to get there. I don't think that they're going to necessarily go very far unless it depends on who they end up having to play in the playoffs. But most likely they're going to either have to play Vegas or they're going to have to play Colorado, and I don't see them beating either one of those teams. So they'll make the playoffs this year. St. Louis, who knows? Who knows? I do expect some improvement. They did get Pavel Buchnevich from the Rangers. They traded physical Sammy Bly to the Rangers so that the Rangers could get some muscle. Pavel Buchnevich should really help them with their offense because they were hurting a little bit. I like St. Louis to get there too. St. Louis could actually make some noise if they against Vegas or the Avs. They really could. I don't think they can beat either one in a playoff series, but they could be tough against either one of those teams. Ultimately, Stanley Cup Finals, I got the Islanders and I got Colorado, and I got Colorado winning the whole thing. I know Colorado's goaltending might be a little bit questionable right now about who's gonna if either of the two goaltenders, whether it's Kemper or Francois, whether they can take them all the way. I think if they have if they're good enough, which I expect that they would be, if those goalies aren't getting the job done, I'm pretty sure you will find that Colorado will go out and get themselves a goaltender, and they're going to win the cup this year. That team's just too good. They kept it together. They wisely re-signed Gabriel Landeskog, who I was hoping was going to be a Ranger this year. But I think a lot of teams were hoping he'd become one of their players. But he's a tremendous player. They were able to keep him, and I don't think Colorado makes any mistakes anymore. I think this time they're old enough now, and they're ready to win the cup. I'm going to say, if not now, when?
Yeah, I mean, they're knocking on the doorstep. Boy, they're on Monday Night Football. Carson Wentz playing. He's going up and down the field on this Ravens defense, playing a really good football game thus far. 7-0 Colts.
Yeah, the Ravens have come out flat.
But Brad, to the Flyers and back to the Metro. It's like, This is a pretty good division.
Oh, it's a very good division.
But I just don't see it from the Flyers. They're just such a mad team. I mean, I still don't know what Travis Konechny is. Morgan Frost.
They made a lot of moves. Okay, I kind of like what they did defensively, but I don't know if they're going to score enough. They traded Voracek, which I guess was a good. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really like Voracek, but they get a guy. They get a guy who's a good player, but he could get hurt. I mean, that's always been a problem. I don't know with the Flyers right now. I don't. Who is what's the goalie going to be like?
I don't know. Makes me nervous.
Yeah, I mean, the rookie year, he's phenomenal, and then last year, he couldn't stop a football half the time. And the fact that I know they got what's his name, Martin Jones from San Jose.
Yeah, he's had a very good preseason, as has Cam Atkinson, who they brought in for Jake Voracek.
Yeah, but the problem with Cam Atkinson is one of those grinding type players who I personally love. But Cam Atkinson the last couple of years seems to always get hurt. He wants to play big, and he's not really big enough to play big. Scores a lot of goals, that he does do, but is he better than Jake Voracek? I mean, I just don't know that they got better trading Voracek for Atkinson. I don't know about that. I know Atkinson only makes $6.8 million, and I think Voracek makes $8 million. So the Flyers were able to save a little money with the as far as the salary cap was concerned. So maybe that was part of it. I don't know if that makes the Flyers better though. Giroux is aging. I just don't know with that team. Last year they had games where they just looked tremendous, and then they had some games where they just looked horrible, quite frankly. I mean, those two games that they lost to the Rangers, 9-0 and 8-3.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Geez, the Rangers weren't even a playoff team last year.
Will the Rangers be a playoff team this year?
Oh, I think they're definitely going to be a playoff team this year. I like what they did. They were the softest team in the league last year, and they went in. They got bullied by everybody. That's not going to happen now. They're pretty tough to play against. They got some They got some muscle on their team. Their third line, they have Gaudreau on it. It looks like Gauthier is beat out Kravtsov for to be on the third line. And did Wentz just fumble and the Ravens recover?
Yeah.
Well,
that's
Wentz for you. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's get. Where were we again?
The Rangers. Well, you look at what the Rangers had last year. They had Adam Fox, who was phenomenal.
Adam Fox won the Norris. He was phenomenal. Artemi Panarin, unfortunately, missed like a dozen games because of the crap with Putin, and then he had to hide. So that really hurt him. And then they lost him at the end of the season because Wilson ragdolled him. So, and of course, the Rangers have had that in mind. Matt Martin basically cheap shotted Jacob Trouba. So the Rangers had to get some tough players on their team so that would stop happening. So they bring in Bly, they bring in Gaudreau, and then they bring in, of course, the beast of the NHL, Ryan Reeves. So they've made the proper adjustments to their team. They are now a very nasty team and a very physical team to have to play against. They also they brought in a defenseman who his name escapes me. He's a number 5 defenseman, but he's way better than Brendan Smith. So, and he's going to play with the rookie Nils Lundqvist, which should be very interesting. Patrick Nemeth. They signed him.
So on the fantasy hockey team, I have Barkov, I have Landon Skog,
yeah,
from Colorado, and I have Vasilevsky. So
wow,
we got a good team. We got a good team shaping up here.
Nice.
But I mean, and then you go to the Penguins, sticking with the Metropolitan, like Penguins.
Well, first of all, I think Malkin is getting really old.
We do this every year, though, on the Sports Hounds in our NHL preview with the Penguins. I hate their guts, and I want to see them lose. And you hate their guts and want to see them lose. But every year we get to playoff time, we're like, oh, guess we were wrong about the Penguins again.
Yeah, but what happened in the first round of the playoffs last year? They got destroyed. So, and now they're going to have to go with Tristan Jarry. They're not going to have Casey DeSmith to back him up and save him when he goes on one of his open window runs. In goal. So, I'm not a big fan of Tristan Jarry. I like DeSmith. I was very surprised they let him go. I don't think the Penguins are going to make the playoffs this year. They at this point, Crosby is what, 32, 33 now?
Yeah, and he's a little banged up. I mean,
yeah, and he's banged up. I don't think he's going to start the season. Malkin is 37 now. How much more do these guys have in the tank? Trump 2020. He wants to know what the Knights will do this year. The Knights are going to win that division. The Knights could win that division benching half their team. Okay, that division, the Pacific Division, is so bad it's an embarrassment to the NHL, to be quite frank with you. But they'll win that division, and I think they can get to the I think they very easily could get to the conference finals. They're always a dangerous team. And I would expect nothing less. They'll be Colorado's opponent this year, as far as playing in the conference finals, I believe.
It seems like, Brad, the Eastern Conference, now that we're back to normal, is a far superior conference to the Western Conference. Is that fair?
At this point, yeah. I mean, it hadn't been like that for a long time, but the times have changed. Okay. Montreal, who got to the conference finals, got to the Stanley Cup finals last year, and really, I predicted that they would be my dark horse team. I don't think they got any shot. I mean, Carey Price is detoxing right now, and you're not going to see Shea Weber this season. That's those you can't lose guys of that caliber when you were a marginal team and expect to be able to make the playoffs again. I just don't see it. The Eastern Conference is too tough.
So not only I need 4 defensemen, 2 goalie, and a bench. What do you think about the Devils this year, Brad? Because I got Dougie Hamilton.
Dougie Hamilton is a really good offensive defenseman. He's not very good defensively. I was never a big fan of his, to be honest with you. I think he's a one-way player. He's real good on the power play, but I've never really been a big fan of his. PK Subban is a cheap shot scumbag. And by the way, you slew-footed the wrong guy, dude. You slew-footed Ryan Reeves, really, and you didn't put him out for the season. He'll be back, and you know what? Unless he's your boy, he's going to kick your ass. So I wouldn't be surprised if Subban develops an upset stomach before the next time the Devils play the Rangers.
I'm sitting here in the 4th round, Brad, and John
Who's
Tavares
available?
is still on the board.
No, stay away from him.
You don't like him?
Well, not because he.
What about your boy? What about your boy in New York? Your goalie, Shistenkirk.
Shesterkin?
Yeah. Is he good?
He's going to play most of the games. I think he's pretty good.
You know what? I'm going to grab him because last year I didn't have any goalies and it killed me.
Well, he's gonna. I'll tell you what. One thing he might even score a goal for you because he's terrific with stick handling. He's gonna probably play 50 to 60 games this year. I like him. I think he's really good. He was really good last year. I think he's going to be even better this year.
What about Jake Gunsel?
Getzel.
He's got COVID right now.
Getzel is on the Penguins.
Correct.
Yeah, he scored. I think did he score? No,
You think he's a good pick?
Year. Huh?
You think he's a good pick?
No. Who else is available?
What about Elias Peterson on Vancouver?
Oh, I like him.
Okay. We'll
I
add
like
him
him.
to the queue.
I like him.
Stamkos, I'm not picking. I don't even know who Kyle Connor is.
Kyle Connor's good. He can score.
All right, we'll add him to the queue. Like Anze Kopitar, I mean, I already have a bunch of centers. He's old. Stamkos is old.
Stamkos will score. I just don't know how healthy he's going to be. What defensemen are available?
Arnell Nurse is available.
Not good enough offensively.
Christian Jerry's he's the goalie for the.
He's the goalie for the Penguins. I wouldn't trust him. I would take Shesterkin before I took Tristan Jarry.
I already have Shesterkin. I just picked him. He's in there.
He's solid. You will not be disappointed. I think the Rangers are going to make the playoffs. And
what about Taylor Hall on Boston?
Taylor Hall should score some goals. He should definitely score some goals.
He's a winger. I don't have any wingers here.
The only problem with Taylor Hall is he's not on the perfection line. I don't know who the center is going to be for Boston now that what's his name? Who's their center? Who's that set? That center that he is gone. He's in Czechoslovakia now.
Oh, look at the Colts. They are running all over the Ravens.
They really are.
Johnny Gaudreau, I'm not.
Johnny Gaudreau is not a bad. He's a center, right?
He's a winger.
Oh, he's a winger now. Okay, you could do a lot worse than him though. He'll get his 60, 70 points.
What about Alex Pietrangelo on Vegas?
Pietrangelo, the defenseman?
Yeah.
I like him. His problem last year, he got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't healthy.
Yeah, he was hurt last year.
Patrick, is Vancouver any good?
They've got a lot of good young players.
Thatcher Demko, is he a good goalie?
He's okay. I wouldn't draft him.
We got to get Barzell. Got to get Barzell on the queue.
If Barzell's available, you have to take him.
I mean, Provorov should have a good year, right?
You would think so. Provorov's a good offensive defenseman.
So how do you see the Metropole? What are the Flyers? Obviously, they're not top three. I don't think they're top three either. I think they could get a wild card. I mean, if they stay healthy and who are your three in the Metropolitan?
The Islanders, Carolina, and the Rangers.
That's right, Carolina. They're always tough.
Is Aho available?
Nah, he is a second-round guy.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I'd just...
Look at this. Roop Hintz on the Dallas Stars. That's a great name.
Yes. I don't know who he is. I never heard of him.
All right, you never heard of him. Oh, Jason Robertson. Rob Povia of the Hockey Happy Hour told me he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I don't know about that, but okay.
Patrick Laine, he's on Columbus.
He's on Columbus.
I don't like that.
He can score, but you know what? He's a weirdo though. He's capable of scoring 40, 50 goals, but I don't know how hard he's going to play. You know, he's one of those. Tortorella's gone, but you know that may not be good. If Tortorella was actually coaching that team, I think he'd be better. Now you know what? He'll be good because this is his walk year.
Who's that?
Laine. This is his walk year. That may not be a bad choice. What other choices do you have?
All right, I got 2 picks to my turn. So you like Kyle Connor on the
Let me look him up. Okay? I'll tell you what he did real quick.
No, I got to regroup here. So, like, the Flyers are better than New Jersey. Like, are the Flyers 4th in the Metropolitan? Is that fair? Are they better than the Penguins? Are they better than the Devils?
I think they are. Kyle Connor, if Kyle Connor's available, you should grab him. His last year, his 2019-2020, he scored 38 goals and 35 assists. Last year in 56 games, 26 goals, 24 assists. That's your guy.
All right, so we got the winner. We got a winger.
Grab him if he's available.
Matthew Tkachuk on Calgary. Frederik Andersen, isn't that clown that played goalie for the Maple Leafs?
Yeah, for the Leafs. Yeah,
I'm not picking him.
Matthew Tkachuk is a real nasty player. I always liked him. As far as scoring, I can look it up real quick.
I have it right here. He's projected to have 26 goals and 40 assists.
Oh, then you could take him too. I like Kyle Connor though.
Well, we got him already.
Okay.
I need some defense.
Who's available? I mean, Connor will give you 40. Could give you 40 goals this year easily, especially if he's playing with Dubois for a whole season.
Morgan Riley's available. I mean, he's only got projected to have 8 goals.
Nah, I wouldn't take him.
Quinn Hughes, no.
No.
Charlie McAvoy, no.
Oh, Charlie McAvoy's not bad. I don't know if he scores enough for you.
I mean, they're defense guys, so like I would take a chance on them.
Let me check his stats last year. I know he got injured.
You like Grubauer on the Seattle, right?
I always liked him. I was shocked that the Avs let him go.
Chris Letang is old.
McAvoy is not good enough offensively. I wouldn't take him. You could take a shot with Letang, but he gets hurt a lot. That's the only problem.
Yeah, no, I don't want any Penguins. Heiskanen on Dallas, I like him.
I don't know who he is. I mean, I don't watch Dallas all that much, so that's hard. That's kind of hard. That's a hard one for me.
All right.
How many defensemen do you have to get? 4?
4.
Is Peter Angelo still available?
I'm sure he went. I don't know. Let's move on. Let's get into some Ben Simmons stuff because it looks like Ben Simmons is going to grace the Philadelphia 76ers with his presence because he saw how much he's getting fined for missing these preseason games, $300,000 a game, and him and his super agent Rich Paul are backtracking. He's such a loser because now he's got no heart, Brad, and this just proves it even more. He's got no heart because
the problem
he's
is
only showing up so he doesn't get fined. All he cares about is money. He's got no heart.
Yeah, you
can't have him on this basketball team if you're the Sixers, can you?
Well, you know what? If the players in the locker room take him back, and they just might. I mean, these guys are players that if they welcome him back, listen, he's going to have a tough time with the fans. That's going to be the problem for him. If he can get through the early season and not get booed, and get thick skin and not worry about getting booed for a while, go out there and just play his game and shut up and not say anything stupid in the press, he'll be okay. I equate him to Stanton on the Yankees, okay? Stanton came in making all this money, didn't do shit, was injured for 2 seasons. This season, early in the season, he was getting booed relentlessly. You know what? Came out, played well. Everybody, all was forgiven. He had a great playoff game. All's forgiven. That's what Simmons is going to have to do. He's going to have to roll up his socks, roll up his sleeves, and just play, and keep his mouth shut, and understand that he's pissed off a lot of people. And the only way he's going to get back into anybody's good graces is to shut up and play the game. That's what he's going to have to do. And not listen, not read the paper, not read the newspaper, stay off the internet, and just play. And if he does that, he'll be fine.
I don't know. You see the comments from Joel, you see the comments from Joel Embiid after he's trying to force his way out. First off, why is he even trying to force himself a trade? And there's Carson Wentz getting absolutely laid out by the Ravens defense there. This is going to be a good game on Monday Night Football here. But Ben Simmons, he's created this illusion in his mind. He has this sickness in his brain that he's a victim. He's got 4 years. He's got 4 years left on a max contract. He got a max contract before Joel Embiid, so which indicates to the players, the organization, and the fans that Ben Simmons is the building block of the franchise, not Joel Embiid. Obviously, that's out the window now because Joel Embiid is a top 5 player and Ben Simmons is a big wimp. But he was coddled by the coach, Brett Brown. I mean, Doc Rivers comes in and he tries to light a fire under his ass to try and get the most out of him.
And he cries.
And he just completely shut down. And he has no interest in improving his game. He has no interest in developing a jump shot, a mid-range game. He has no interest in improving his free throw percentage. He has no interest in being aggressive on a nightly consistent basis. I don't get it, man. I said it before. I mean, Ben, it's just so frustrating.
What they should do with Simmons, quite honestly, is move him to forward and get the ball out of his hands.
But he sourpusses, Brad. He sourpusses when he's not the primary focal point of the offense.
Well, too bad. He doesn't have a jump shot. He can't be point guard if he's not going to shoot.
I hear you.
That's it. Listen, the Sixers still hold all the cards. Okay? If he doesn't go into a game or if he starts tanking, they can suspend him for conduct detrimental to the team. So he's going to have to go in there. He's going to have to go in there, and he's going to have to do what Rivers says. I think they should make him a power forward and let him play down low, and use his size and his strength to go under the basket.
Brad, I don't think he plays.
You don't think they're going to play him, or you think he's going to?
I don't think he plays here. I think they're going to work something out. They're going to work something out to where.
What are you going to do? Trade him for like Kyrie Irving or something, and then have Kyrie Irving come here, refuse to get his COVID shot, and not be able to play in any of the games?
I mean, but I would do that trade in 5 seconds if I'm the Sixers.
I guess.
Look, Philadelphia does not have a virus mandate like New York does and Brooklyn does.
No,
which they just passed something that said they gave him. I forget because the Brooklyn practice facility is considered a private office, so he can practice with the team.
Yeah, but can he play? Can he play in the games there?
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying.
But he could play if he was a Sixer. He could play at the Wells Fargo Center. They don't have as a strict a vaccine mandate.
That might be something the Nets might look at. As crazy as it might be for those two to make a trade, that might actually work out. I'm just throwing it out there, Rob. The Sixer fans are probably laughing in my face about that one, but I don't know.
I don't think it's
hard.
That's the best scenario because look, you trade him to the Pacers, you get Malcolm Brogdon and Caris LeVert, they're decent players, but the potential with Ben.
He doesn't have to shoot. Listen, he doesn't have to shoot if he's on the Nets. If he wants to pass the ball all the time, he can pass it to Harden or he can pass it to Durant. I mean, or Harris. I mean, you got guys. You got some real good shooters on that team. So, and they could actually use a player that plays defense really badly, as you know. And in big spots, James Harden could be the point guard in a big spot, and Ben Simmons doesn't even have to be on the floor if they start fouling.
If he's on the Nets, though, he's like the Rajon Rondo of, the big. But then he's part of the big. He's part of the big three.
Right, but he doesn't have to score because they got other guys on the team. They're loaded offensively. They got enough guys that can score. I mean,
and then he wants to perpetrate this nonsense, Brad, that he can't play with Joel Embiid because, Joel Embiid, clogs up the middle because he's a center, which is total nonsense.
Well, Durant is going to clog up the middle too. I hate to tell you,
but I think we got a clue.
Harden may not. Harden likes to shoot threes, but I mean, Durant likes to play inside, and so does Blake Griffin. And I don't know. I think that's the one trade that might work though for both teams. I don't know that those two teams would ever trade with each other because if either one of the teams got a big advantage, they'd never hear the end of it. But that could be a solution to a problem both teams are having right now.
But and I don't even know how good the Sixers are going to be. To be honest with you, they're going to make the playoffs, but
they're still a good team. Come on,
I don't know. I don't look, and you know how I feel about the Sixers.
They're going to win like 55 games. Come on. I mean, they get to play the whole league now. And it's going to be, it's going to be a full season. They'll still win, 55 games. They could still play defense. And they're still loaded with talent. I mean, that's a good basketball team. If they really don't want Simmons, they'll find somebody to take him. I just don't know what it is exactly they want.
How can you bring him back? How can you bring him back? I mean, look, his buddies on the team, Tobias Harris and Bede, I guess they're not his buddies because he kind of told them to go fuck off when they tried to go out and be like, "Yo, Ben, like, what's going on? We got this team here. We got a good team. We got a good coach. Like, we're trying to avenge last season's embarrassment to the Hawks." And Ben Simmons is just like, "Nah, you know what? Don't even come. I'm good." It's like, what? And then you have after the comments
he was sulking. That's basically it.
But I mean, Embiid lit him up, Brad.
Yeah,
Embiid lit him up on media day,
and he has
maybe it was after media day. He says everything we've done since I've been here is to coddle this guy Ben Simmons. We let go of Jimmy Butler because of Ben Simmons, which I thought Joel Embiid said was a mistake. You held on to a coach 2 years too long in Brett Brown to coddle to Ben Simmons. You bring in guys that JJ Redick and these guys that just stand on the perimeter and shoot to appease Ben Simmons. So what more does he want? How can you want out of here?
I mean, again, I'm just thinking of trade scenarios that might work. Because I would think that Brooklyn would probably want to trade, but at this point might want to trade Kyrie. I just don't see why Kyrie would want to. If he's not going to get a shot and he's going to be an idiot, okay, then the Nets aren't going to have him for at least 40 games, 41 games. He's not going to play in any of the Toronto games, so that's at least 43 games that he can't play. So, I mean, what's the point in having a guy that's only going to play 43? That's if he's healthy. And, that's not necessarily always the case with him.
Yeah, and then he disappears, and he's just
he's kind of strange, but when he's on the court, he's a tremendous player, and he's not afraid to shoot. He's a tremendous player.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because you already have a franchise that's a bunch of losers in the Sixers. They told you you had this
with the exception of the man in the middle.
Yeah, they got Embiid. So 5 years ago, they told the fans that they let an analytics dork like Sam Hinkie totally hijack the franchise, and they told me that, and the great Sixers fans in Philadelphia, educated basketball fan base in Philadelphia, they love their basketball. I know we're labeled as a football town because we're rabid about our Eagles, but the roots of sports in basketball in Philadelphia is just parallel to none, really. So you tell these fans that the only way you can win a championship in this league is if you have a bunch of you lose a bunch of games on purpose to get a bunch of assets. Okay,
that's not entirely incorrect though.
But it's not. But Brad, since the process started in Philadelphia, the Hawks have been to the Eastern Conference Finals twice, and the Sixers have been to the Eastern Conference Finals 0 times. The Sixers lost in the second round with Andrew Bynum and Andre Iguodala, and they still lose in the second round with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Nothing changed, and you embarrassed yourself for how many years?
If they didn't trade Butler, but then Butler didn't want to stay because
Butler didn't want to stay because Ben Simmons. He told the Sixers management that Ben Simmons was a big pussy, and Sixers management sided with Ben.
Bad move there, but look, at this point, I mean, there are teams that will take Ben Simmons. You know that. It's not like they can't trade him. Their GM is playing hardball with him. I don't know if it's because they want to keep him or they're just teaching him a lesson and will eventually trade him. I mean, look at Harden. Okay, same situation last year with Houston. They eventually traded him. You know, Harden got his way and he got traded out of there. He wanted to go play with his buddy Durant in Brooklyn. He got his way. So I mean, the bottom line is the Sixers are not going to just trade him to appease him. They're going to trade if they trade him. They want to trade him and improve their basketball team.
That ship has sailed big time.
No, it hasn't because Simmons signed a contract and he has to play.
Who in their right mind would trade for Ben Simmons right now, Brad?
What about the Clippers?
I mean, what are you giving me back? I don't even care. Actually.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's on their team anymore.
You understand in the NBA, you have to make the money match.
Right. Do they have any big money guys still?
You have Kawhi who's sitting out because he has a torn ACL.
Right. Well, they're not going to do that.
And you have Paul George, but why would you give Paul George for Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons is a wimp. He stinks. He's a total stiff.
Maybe they think they can change him. You might even be able to get him to Portland. You're not going to get the guy you want out of Portland. I mean, Dame isn't coming here for Simmons, but maybe CJ McCollum comes back in a deal like that.
I mean, I'm just at a loss.
At least the money is closer.
Just like, I mean, Brogdon and LeVert, that package intrigues me. Certainly intrigues me because Brogdon can fill the void defensively.
Yeah, LeVert can score.
And LeVert can score.
Yeah, LeVert is good. I always liked LeVert. I mean, he's real good. I mean, if you could pull that, I don't know if LeVert's going to be available though. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade him if I were them. But you never know. But listen, there's plenty of teams that would take Ben Simmons. I guarantee. He's not a bad player. He's just weird. He's just really, really weird. I think if he went to the Midwest, I think that would be his best move. Because the fans aren't as nasty in the Midwest as they are on the East Coast, in the East. And if he goes out to LA and he starts screwing up, they'll really let him happen because they're nasty. Those fans in LA. Yeah, I've seen Dodger fans in action, and I assume they're all the same out there. So I think that would be a tough move. But like him going say to say Utah. I don't know if there's a match there, but maybe Utah, or if he went to Memphis. There are teams that could definitely use him. See, he can get you to the playoffs. He's just not the kind of guy that's going to get you very far in the playoffs unless you got other guys, at least 2 to 3 other guys that can make up for the scoring. And make sure that he plays another position in the closing minutes of a game, so he doesn't get fouled every time he touches the ball. Because he killed the Sixers last year with his foul shooting. I mean, it got embarrassing after a while. I mean, he lost a couple of games by himself against Atlanta for sure.
Yeah, and he's passing up. I don't know. It should be interesting. It should be really interesting to see how this thing ultimately plays out. Will he be welcomed? The fans aren't going to welcome him. He's got to.
Did we just win? Are you reading this Ryan Brodo comment here? That Gruden just quit?
Really?
Did that really happen?
I would imagine. I mean, I know he got himself in a little bit of hot water from. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Parting ways after he used some not so nice language to describe DeMaurice Smith, the head of the Players Union, or the Players Association.
He made that comment 10 years ago.
Well, it came out, and you know how it is. So the Raiders and him, they're parting ways.
Wow.
Where he quit, I don't know. John Gruden to resign.
How about
Stepping down after containing racist, sexist, and anti-gay remarks were made public.
Boy, oh boy.
I never thought he was that great of a coach anyway, but that's brutal.
No, that might be good news for the Raiders, especially now that they're not in Oakland anymore. So that actually could be good news for the Raiders. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a straight bombshell. I mean, I'm sure the Flight Zone coming up, a few minutes here. Evan, Jimmy, got you covered. Eagles, I'm sure they'll talk about Ben. Hockey tomorrow, baseball. Thank you to our great sponsors, Body Check Wellness, Johnny Coyle down at All Campus, FanUp, Sunrise Detox, Robbie Lutman, Alan Foy of eXp Realty. Thank you to everyone who liked, subscribed, shared our show, turn your notifications on. Don't miss a thing. It's football season. You never know just like that. We're down a head coach. That's how quick it happens in sports. And ATD Radio always has you covered. He's Brad Ryer. I'm Rob Brinkman. Frank Vesby did a terrific job, per usual, producing the show. Until next Monday, peace out, everybody.